All right. So, guys, I want to talk to you about one of the things that Cheyenne's working on. And very cool. She likes to make a lot of little Damascus knives, okay? Now, the Damascus comes from, a lot of times, Alabama Damascus. And Brad Fish and Brad Weiss were cool enough to make her a deal on some of these webbings. Now, the webbings are what's left over after a blade or several blades or whatever patterns are cut out of a sheet of Damascus that they make at Alabama Damascus. And some of it's an 1/8 inch thick, some of it's heavier. But Cheyenne acquired a bunch of this stuff, and she's going through and she is working at making it more into more usable sizes. So what we're doing right now, and she'll be back in just a moment. I really need my glasses, my safety glasses for this. But like here's a pre-form for a bottle opener. Here's another one. They're being normalized in the forge. And eventually, she takes them to the grinder to make some cool little knives, okay? And shout out to Alabama Damascus. Thank you guys for everything you do and for helping out everyone you have. Before we get into it, Cheyenne will be on camera shortly. I'd like you to go ahead, like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and be sure to check out some of the other videos that we have available. There's more coming. So right now, if you look down here, we got a pretty good pile of Damascus remnants that Cheyenne has been processing, cutting out of the Damascus webbings from Alabama Damascus. And here she is now. So Cheyenne, I'll let you take over from here. You can tell them about everything you're doing and what you're planning on accomplishing.
So, all I received was Alabama Damascus. We were at the Forging Festival in Boston. Woo! You guys are going for a trip.
Woo! Here we go.
But we were there at the Forging Festival at not Iron Mountain Metalcraft, but they were the hosts.
Sevierville at Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
But our close friends are Alabama Damascus, and they had a bunch of the Damascus webbing where they, I think, don't they use a water jet now?
I believe they're water jet cut.
They used a plasma cut, so they sell their remnants. They don't do anything with it or anything, and what we're able to do is kind of do profile cutting and grinding, being able to utilize what they're not. All of their business is their Damascus, so high quality Damascus,
That is some thin stuff right there.
Yes.
Bone Shaker, how's it going, man? We're doing pretty good.
That's what I just told him.
We've got quite a pile of Damascus going on here.
Like much, guys. So pretty much what I'm doing is cutting out profiles and then we're normalizing them. That way grinding and everything else, you're not causing more wear and tear onto your blade or your belt. It softens the steel. We're just normalizing right now. refining the grain structure, especially with the water jetting it. That way we're able to actually utilize it. Grain refinement is kind of a big thing we kind of preach about here in our shop. You have a bunch of sandy grain structure in your blade, it's not going to be a good working blade. High chances of it breaking out, cracking, can be a danger to you and others, depending on if you're working around anyone.
Man, I like you, Cheyenne. What's going on, my good man? Give me a hug, man. Yeah. Doing okay, yeah. What's happening? What's good, man? I think he just gave me a call while back, and I was at the customer standing there, and I was heading to the company while you're at tomorrow. What do you got going on, Cheyenne?
Oh, not too much. Actually, there's one thing that I did notice, and now I will not be utilizing this until I can reforge it. See that line going all the way through? I'm shaky because of the power tools. But if you see that line, that's a D-land. You do not want that in your blade. So if I am going to actually utilize this, I have to reforge that. Look how thin it is. Look how long that line is. It actually goes to about right here on the steel. You do not want to make a high quality blade out of that. So we're tossing in the bin for later.
subscribed yet, now is a great time to do so. Hit that like and subscribe and notification button right there.
Nope, not all of us. I know I have a giant pile of Damascus down there.
You got a couple webbings left.
Yeah. For now.
Do this grinder blade or two real quick to show them how good they work.
I'll grind a couple of them for 'em. Now I use the handles on the grinders because I can articulate the angle on my grind. Have more control over it. It's not that we can't
have any Damascus steel?
Maybe, just maybe. I definitely did not come home with several pounds of it.
At this point, what we can do, we've got quite a bit of Damascus here.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, here's some, I'm literally just going to pack it in the forge.
Allow it to slowly.
And let it slowly cool.
Hold on, I'm going to bring them over there so they can actually see how many pieces there are.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of Damascus here. So, I mean, there's a lot of usable material. You know, and...
the pieces I cut off aren't... It's not me saying that they're not usable. It's they're going to take more time or processing. These are ones
or they're
that
going to be used for something else.
Yes. Inlays or anything.
I'll just put them in here and let that cool. I mean, you probably have, I don't know how many pieces you have here.
I got in the zone and didn't realize I cut that many.
Well, it happens sometimes. But I'll just go ahead and I'll cool off a few of these. And maybe we can get Cheyenne to show you how she
Profile grind.
does some profile grinding and just kind of comes up with some interesting designs. How's that sound, Cheyenne?
I think we can do that.
All right. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. And I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the way for when Cheyenne's ready. Now, she's going to be starting with a 36 grit on the Mini Dictator here. And she'll be able to show you guys.
It's a new-ish belt.
Ish is the
Word of the day?
word of the day, I guess.
I'm going to grab my marker because I have a feeling this marker did not survive. That way I can kind of have a visual. And as you can tell, it's very warm still because the water's evaporating off of it.
This is just kind of showing full circle on this. Of course, we still have to do heat treat afterwards.
What was the hidden?
Grinding, etching, all that fun stuff. But just show them on like a couple blades, and we'll go ahead and finalize the video. How long are we? How far are we?
I don't know. How do you?
Just about 45 minutes.
That one I want to play with.
All right. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so.
Oh yeah. Those guys, I already have an idea of what they're going to be.
Okay, so basically you're just taking away the parts that don't need to be there.
Yes.
Right. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and we'll catch you soon. All right, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Cheyenne, anything you want to tell them on the pieces you've got going? Anything to look forward to? What do we got?
These will be finished up here soon, and we'll let you guys know.
All right, you guys have a great one, and we will catch you in a few. Later.